Hi everyone, and welcome to this yoga practice for the follicular phase of the menstrual cycle. This is, for simplicity's sake, the period of time after you have finished menstruating before you ovulate. This is the point in our menstrual cycle when relaxin levels are the lowest. So relaxin is a hormone that helps our joints be more loose, more lax, and it actually helps us when we're pregnant because it helps our pelvis expand to allow the baby to drop into the pelvis. But during this phase of the menstrual cycle, relaxin is low, which means that we can actually do a great flexibility practice, work on stretching through the muscles without having to worry so much about overstretching and putting strain on our joints. Today's practice is going to be focused all on flexibility. You don't need a lot of props. You can wear whatever you want. I'm wearing tighter clothes so that you can see my body and see my alignment, but know that your practice doesn't always have to look exactly like mine. Just be mindful of your transitions, and I'll walk you through everything to make sure that you're transitioning through different shapes in the safest way possible. You can also use a yoga mat. If you don't have a mat, don't let that be a barrier. You can do this practice on a carpet, a blanket. You can do the practice outside. One thing that we will be using a lot today is going to be either a yoga strap, or you can use a belt, a scarf, a robe tie, something to help you stretch through the limbs. And then if you like, you can also have a bolster or a pillow, some blankets, and some yoga blocks or books, something that you can stack your hands on. So pause the video if you need to, gather your props, and when you're ready, we're gonna meet down on the mat on our backs. So resting down on the mat here, I'm gonna invite you to bring your hands and place them on your belly. And you can close down the eyes or find a soft gaze. And we're just going to start to allow the body to release a little bit, bringing the awareness into the body. Breathing in through the nose. On the exhale, releasing the breath through the mouth. And really bringing your awareness to the back of your head as it rests on the mat. Maybe with each exhale, you can allow the head to grow a little bit heavier. Almost like you're releasing into the floor, melting into the earth. Moving the awareness down the body, checking in with your shoulders and just noticing what your shoulders and your back feel like here, resting on the mat or the carpet. And feel free to take any wiggles that you need to get comfortable here. Breathing deeply in through the nose, out through the mouth. Noticing as you inhale what it feels like to feel that breath expanding the lungs. Maybe you notice the belly rising. Imagine sending the inhale down to that area of the diaphragm, right below the bottom of our rib cage here. Expanding through the lungs, the diaphragm lowers, the abdomen can tend to lift, expanding. And then on the exhale, notice how the abdomen kind of drops back down. Notice what your hips and pelvis feel like on the mat. If it helps to take a little bit of a shift through the hips, just to really feel your low back, kind of your sacral area grounded into the mat here. Letting your body grow heavy. Allowing any awareness of your to-do list, any awareness of anything that happened earlier today or that's on the schedule for later today. Just allowing those things to release from your mind, like they're floating down into the earth, like they're falling out of your body. Any stress or tension releasing from the body into the floor. And take a moment now, remembering that the Follicular phase represents our inner spring. It's this time of growth and anticipation. And so I invite you now to call to mind an intention for this practice. Maybe that's a prayer or a hope, a wish, something that you want to manifest in your life. And we're going to call to mind that intention right now. Even if the intention is just one word, maybe it's peace or ease. Bring your intention to mind, and we're going to use this to come back to throughout the practice. Ask your body, your energy to help support you as we flow through this practice. We're going to be channeling the energy of that intention into creating it in your life. So like we're sowing the seeds in this season, in this phase. And when you have your intention in mind, just hold it there for a moment. Imagine you're planting it like a seed into the earth. And when you're ready, we'll open up the eyes, reach around and find your strap. I'm going to expand the strap long between both hands. Here, just bring the strap around the bottom of the feet. And you can use the strap to kind of help you hug your feet into, and you can use the strap to kind of help you pull your knees into your chest, hugging the knees in, maybe rocking side to side. Continuing to breathe. Notice if you can send some breath into this back of the pelvis area, expanding through the back of the body, through the tailbone area. When you're ready, we're going to raise both feet to the ceiling using the strap to hold on. Allow the low back to ground into the earth. Maybe wiggling the toes if that feels good. And just rest here, really feeling into the legs. Notice if your legs feel tight. Maybe you're not feeling much of a stretch. You can use the strap to bring your feet towards your head even more. Deepening the stretch. Again, inhale. As you inhale, imagine you're sending breath all the way down to the base of the pelvis. Like you're expanding this hammock of the pelvic floor with your breath. And on the exhale, giving yourself permission here to relax, for your muscles to open and release. From here, we're going to drop the right foot. Keep the left leg extended long. You can hold onto the strap with one or both hands. When you're ready, if your right knee is still bent, we'll extend the right leg. I need to move my bolster here so I have more space. Great. So extend that right leg long. You're going to take the left leg, pulling it across the body. Notice if you feel any stretch, any tension. If you have some tension in the outside of the hip here, just breathe into it. Remind yourself that it's okay, that this tension is normal, it's nothing to worry about. See if you can let your body ease into that sensation. Breathing deeply. When you're ready, we'll bring the left leg back through center. We're going to allow it to drop over to the left side as far as is comfortable for you. And then adjust the position of your foot to a place that feels like a comfortable, good stretch. Holding onto your strap, pulling the strap I feel a deep stretch right here in my inner thigh. And just notice where you might feel any sensation, any energy. We're keeping the right leg long here, allowing energy to flow through the right side of the body, like energy's pointing out the right foot. And when you're ready, we'll use the strap to draw that left leg back up. From here, we're gonna bend the right knee again. Use the strap to gently bring the left foot to the right thigh. Trust your body here. If this feels really stiff and tight for you, adjust the position of your foot, adjust the position of your knee so that this feels manageable. If this doesn't feel like much of a stretch for you, this might be enough for some folks, but if it doesn't feel like enough, you can lift the right leg, even maybe supporting that stretch by bringing the hands to the back of the right leg. Maybe rocking side to side. If you have a lot of tension here, sometimes it can feel good to move in and out of this stretch gently, either with the leg up and down or rocking side to side, just allowing the body a little bit of time to settle in here. And remember to keep breathing. When you're ready, find some stillness here. Breathing into that left hip. When you're ready, if your foot is lifted, you can bring it back down to the mat. And to unwind, we're just going to remove the strap, draw this left knee towards the chest, and pivot the foot down. Take a moment to notice here if there's any difference between the two sides. And when you're ready, we're going to lift both feet into the air again using the strap. And take a moment to stabilize here. And then when you're ready, we'll drop that left foot, keeping the right leg long, pointed towards the sky. Wiggle out the toes. We're going to extend the left leg. And I already notice a little bit of asymmetry. I have a stretch through this left hip flexor here. I didn't feel that so much when my right leg was on the ground. So if your two sides are different, that's totally normal. Deep breath in here. On the exhale, we're going to draw the right foot across the midline. Allow yourself to find a comfortable stretch through the outside of the leg. Adjust your foot as needed. Breathing into any spots where you may be holding. Affirming for your body that it's safe to release. When you're ready, using the strap to help you draw the foot back up through the center, we're going to rock the right foot out to the side. I'm right up against the wall here, so I will not be able to release my right leg all the way down, but this still feels like a really good stretch. If you need to adjust so that you have more space, feel free to do so. And just allow your leg to fall out to the side, stretching through that inner thigh. Breathing into any places that feel tight. I like to imagine like those long muscles in my legs are those long balloons that balloon artists use, like at carnivals. And by sending my breath there, I'm inflating the balloon. And then on the exhale, it's like you're taking the air out of a balloon and the balloon just kind of becomes soft again. And that helps me, that visualization helps me just allow the tension to release from my muscles. With every exhale, maybe you can sink a little bit deeper into the stretch. When you're ready, we'll draw the right leg back through center. Bend the left knee. We're going to cross this right ankle over the left leg. Keep the foot flexed here. And then allow the right knee to open up to the side. For a deeper stretch, option to lift the left leg, maybe rocking side to side. Take note for yourself if one side feels tighter than the other. No judgment here, just noticing, observing. Excuse me. I think one of the gifts of yoga is that it gives us this awareness of our bodies that we don't always take the time to notice. A lot of times we can just be rushing through the day and kind of like Energizer Bunny powering through the day, and we don't even really notice what sensations we're feeling. So take one last breath here just to notice how this right hip feels. And when you're ready, we'll bring the left foot down first. We're going to remove the strap and unwind the right leg. Beautiful. Take a long stretch, stretching up through the arms, stretching out through the legs. Allow the body to release. Energy going through the fingertips, through the ends of the toes. Deep breath in, and on the exhale, release. Beautiful, beautiful start. We're going to come up to hands and knees on the mat. Take a little sip of water if you need one. And when you're ready, find a comfortable kneeling position. So if this is really hard on your knees, you can place blocks or a folded up blanket behind your pelvis. And you're going to sit up a little bit higher, which takes some of that pressure off the knees. That feels really good for me right now. So just starting here to roll the shoulders back. Inhaling as you open up through the heart, exhaling as the arms come down. If it feels good, you can bring the hands to the shoulders, get the elbows involved here. Allow the head to drop. We'll gently rock the neck side to side. And the next inhale, lift the arms up to the sky. Inhaling, finding a tiny little bend here as we gently arch the spine, glancing up with the eyes. We're not going to hyperextend the neck here. We're just going to gently lift our faces towards the sun. If you feel any pinching in the neck at all, just bring your gaze down a little bit. On the exhale, rounding the arms down. Let's do that once more. So inhaling up, lifting towards the sun. On the exhale this time, we're going to bring the arms all the way around the back. If your hands touch around the back, great. If not, this is fine too. Inhale, one more. Exhaling, rounding through the back. If you can interlace the fingers here, we're going to rest here for a minute. And if not, we're going to take the strap behind the body so that when you inhale up, exhale to round, you can grab the strap and then use the strap to help you deepen this stretch through the shoulders. Inhale, sending the breath to widen through the collarbones here. This is such a great heart opener, especially when we spend a lot of time hunched over our phones and our computers and driving. I'm going to bring a little bit of motion to the neck. Again, very, very gentle here. We don't want to hyperextend the back of the neck. Beautiful. And then we'll lose the strap here. From here, removing the blocks, let's come on to hands and knees. If this is not comfortable for your wrists, feel free to take fists here and you can keep the arms straight. Otherwise, bring your palms to the floor. Roll the shoulders back and down so we're not hunching up to the ears. We're drawing the shoulder blades down the back. And just find your comfortable tabletop pose here. Notice the pelvic floor. We're gonna draw the pelvic floor and the abdomen in. So like you're stopping the flow of urine. Create a little bit of a lift in the pelvic floor, and then think about drawing the belly button up towards the spine. Just gently, it's not a super intense clench here. On the exhale, notice what it feels like if you release that. You can kind of feel the belly hanging here. But we want to keep this engagement. So re-engage, lifting the pelvic floor, bringing the belly button to the spine. And then we're going to inhale, lifting through the collarbones. On the exhale, we'll round the spine, pressing into the hands. Inhale, lifting through the collarbones, arching through the back just gently. Exhaling here. Inhaling to lift and arch. Exhale to round. Very good. Very good. If it feels good here, we're going to inhale to arch, and then on the exhale, rock the hips back. Find your child's pose. We're just going to reach the arms long. With your next exhale, walk the hands over to the left, and then inhale through the side of the body. I feel a stretch in my right side. Walk the hands back through center. Take a deep breath, filling up the lungs. See if you can use that breath to expand through the back of the ribs. And then on the exhale, we'll walk the hands over to the right side. Stretching through that left side of the body. Beautiful. Walking back to center. Let's shift up to hands and knees. We're going to inhale. As you inhale, reach the left arm up towards the sky. On the exhale, we're going to thread that left arm underneath the right. Finding a very gentle twist here as you sink the hips back. Continuing to breathe. Inhale, shift forward, unwind. Exhale, think about that lift through the core. With the next inhale, we'll reach the arms up to the ceiling. Exhale, thread underneath the left arm. Deep breath here. Find your comfortable twist. And when you're ready, we're gonna unwind. Beautiful. From here, take a few rocks with the hips. You'll want your block close by again. I'm gonna come into this knee stand here, engaging the core, so we're really supported here. We're not going to sink into the low back. We're gonna keep the pelvis neutral. Core is engaged, so belly button draws toward the spine, tailbone drawing a little bit down, and then stabilize yourself if you need to. We're gonna bring the right foot out. Beautiful, creating a 90-degree angle here, roughly 90-degree angle with the knee. On the inhale, reach up. And if you want your block nearby for balance, lift up on the inhale, reaching over. So I'm going to turn towards the camera so you can see me. Here's what it looks like. Inhale, on the exhale, reach. Take a deep breath here, stretching through the side body. Option to extend this leg long out to the side, bringing the side of the foot down to stabilize you. And this might feel like enough. Maybe you just want to stay here, bring the hands to prayer pose, keep that core engaged. First, stretch through the left side of the body. You can lift the arms. Exhale as we reach over this side, reaching over to the right. Expanding through the ribs here. So breathing into all these little muscles, the intercostals in between our ribs, expanding through the lungs. Exhaling, beautiful. And then from here, we'll swing the leg around to the front. This is where you may want to move your block, as I'm losing my balance. You can bring the block again back under the hips. We're gonna sink back down. If you don't want the block there, you don't need it. You can just bring the hips all the way down to the ground, but that can be hard on some people's knees. So if you need the block underneath your seat here on this left side, take it. But we're gonna let this right leg be long, and then gently start to walk the hands over. Maybe you don't make it all the way to the right foot, that's okay. You can just sort of gently walk your hands out. Notice if you can feel a stretch in the back of the right leg here. Maybe you feel it someplace else. So just notice any sensations you're feeling is okay. And we're gonna just rest here for a minute. To come out of this pose, we're gonna put the weight through the hands, shift forward towards the right foot, and then use your hands to stabilize you as you bring your right leg around. So I'm gonna turn back to the side so you can see this view from the side of the same sequence. So again, we're starting on hands and knees here. Beautiful. We're gonna come up into that knee stand and then use the block or a wall if you need extra stability to bring this foot forward. Beautiful. From here, option to lift the arms up. I'm going to use my block on my side, so lifting the arms up, we'll reach across the other side. Deep breath. Inhale the arms up. Beautiful. From here, stabilize yourself as you bring the left leg out to the left side. Keeping the core engaged, lifting all the way like someone's pulling a string out of the top of your head. We'll inhale here and then exhale over the left leg. Finding expansion through the right side of the body. Breathing into any places that feel tight. And then from here, walking that left leg just gently around to the front of the body. Option to bring the block underneath the right side of the seat. And then we'll gently allow ourselves to fold forward over this left leg. Only as far as is comfortable for you. So maybe you just walk your hands forward. If you want to go deeper, you have that option. And just allow yourself to rest and breathe here. And to come out of this shape, stabilize through the hands. We're going to shift onto the left foot. Move the left knee out of the way. We'll swing the leg around. Beautiful. And then just take a couple of rocks here with the pelvis. You can do a few pelvic tilts to open up the energy flow here. So when you're done with some pelvic rocking here, we're going to shift the weight forward into the hands, tuck the toes behind you. We'll send the hips up and back, finding your downward facing dog here. Walking out the feet, first down dog of the practice. So find what feels good for you. Remember, we're pressing through the finger pads. So not just pressing through the palms, but really spreading the weight into the entire hand. Drawing the shoulder blades down the back. And when you're ready, we'll step the feet up to meet the hands. Grab onto the elbows here, just allow yourself to hang. If you have any disc injuries or any stuff going on in the low back, you can stabilize yourself on a block or a pillow so that you're not hanging unsupported. And when you're ready, we're going to bend the knees, sink the hips back, draw the belly button in, and press yourself up to standing. Deep inhale, exhale the arms down to the sides. Great. So finding your comfortable Tadasana mountain pose here. We're going to inhale through the arms, sending energy up through the fingers and down through the feet like you're rooted into the earth. Deep inhale. Keep a neutral pelvis here. We have that belly button drawn towards the spine. We're not sinking through the belly, really engaging the entire body. From the tips of the fingers, energy's coming through the head, out the tailbone. Everything should be energized. Engaging all of those core muscles here. On the exhale, we're going to hinge right at the hips, fold forward. Beautiful. Rounding through the spine. On the exhale, allowing yourself to relax. Inhale, we'll engage the core, using the core to lift into that halfway lift. And on the exhale, hands come down to the mat. We'll step the feet back. Find your downward facing dog again. Deep breath here. On the exhale, allow the knees to come down to the mat. We're going to rock the hips back to child's pose. Inhale, lifting back through tabletop. And glancing forward, we'll exhale to round the spine, tuck the toes, send the hips up and back, meet in downward facing dog. And we'll stay here for about 3 to 5 breaths. Again, stepping the feet out if you need to. Just taking your time to really get comfortable here. Remember your intention that we set at the beginning of practice. That's what we're working towards. Deep inhale, and with the next exhale, we're going to walk the feet towards the hands. Allow the body to hang either towards the floor or supported on a block. When you're ready, draw the belly in, engage the core. Inhale, find the halfway lift. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, bend the knees, sink the hips back. Rising up to standing. Exhale the arms through the heart. Beautiful, roll the shoulders back. Find your mountain pose here. Feel that strength and stability of the mountain that you have as you ground your feet into the earth. The next inhale, arms come up. Exhale, hinging at the hips, forward fold. Inhale, core is engaged, halfway lift. On the exhale, hands plant, feet step back. Meet in downward facing dog. Exhale the knees down to the mat. We'll rock back to child's pose. Inhale up to tabletop. Option here to take a traditional chaturanga. Inhale, lifting up to the sky. Exhaling, rounding through the spine. And then walking the hands forward, we'll tuck the toes. On the next exhale, send the hips up and back to downward facing dog. Chaturanga is that transition you may be familiar with or maybe not, that brings the body down into a plank and then lifts through the cobra. On the transition just before coming into downward facing dog. And personally, I do not chaturanga anymore because I've had multiple elbow and shoulder surgeries. And I find transitioning through a cat-cow to just be more gentle for a lot of beginners especially. But really trust your body. If chaturanga feels great for you and you want to do a plank, please go ahead. When you're ready, we will step the feet back up towards the hands. And then inhale, halfway lift. Letting the blood flow, equalize here. Exhale, draping forward. On the inhale, bend the knees, send the hips back, rising up to standing. Exhaling the hands through the heart. Beautiful. Swing the arms out. Roll the shoulders back. We're going to inhale, reaching the arms up to the sky. Exhaling, hinging at the hips, folding forward. We'll inhale, engage the core, find your halfway lift. On the exhale, plant the hands. And this time we're just going to step the left foot back first, the right foot back next. Find your downward facing dog here. From here, we're going to inhale, lifting the left leg. You can lift this leg as high or as low as you want. I'm going to lift through the left leg and then bring the foot forward to meet the hands. As far as you can get is fine. If you need to walk the foot forward here, that's totally okay. So stabilize your foot. And when you're ready, we're going to lift up into a high lunge. So engaging the core here. Spine is long, the head tall. So we're lifting out of the pelvic floor with our energy here. We're not sinking in to the hips. We're lifting towards the sky. Maybe it feels good to bring the hands to the hips here. Maybe prayer pose feels good. Or if you want to engage through the shoulders here and lift the hands up, that's okay too. Just take some time to breathe here. Beautiful. When you're ready, we're going to bring the hands down to either the mat or blocks. And then come down into your low lunge. We're going to lift again through the front of the body. Deep breath here on the exhale, reaching forward. You can kind of play with the angle here, maybe shifting back and forth. Notice a stretch here in the in the right hip flexor. And when you're ready, we're going to shift the weight forward into the hands and then step the back leg to meet the front leg. Shaking it out here. Take a full forward fold. Allow your body to release towards the floor. Option here to bring the hands behind the back. Stretching through the hands. If your hands don't interlace, you can just kind of place them on the back or reach them long. And then when you're ready, we'll inhale through a halfway lift. Exhaling to fold. Inhale, bend the knees, send the hips back, pressing through the legs to come up to standing. And we'll exhale. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So inhale, arms up. On the exhale, hands are going to come. We're going to swing the arms down. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhale, hands come down to the mat. This time we're going to step the right foot back first. And then the left foot comes back to meet it. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Beautiful. We're going to inhale, right foot comes up to the air this time. With your next exhale, send that right foot forward. Find your high lunge. Some of you may know I have some prior injuries, and so my balance is a little bit wonky. So if you see me like falling as we do this lunge, it's okay. It's okay to lose your balance. We're just going to regain the balance, re-engage. Engaging through the core is actually going to help keep your whole body stable. And then bringing the gaze forward, hands can come up into the air or prayer or at the hips. Breathing in. If you notice some tension here in the hip flexor, send the breath there. Really try to expand that area with your breath. On the exhale, the hands are going to come down to the mat or to blocks. As we lower the back knee, we'll come up into our low lunge. Inhaling here, reaching through the front of the body. Feel free to rock back and forth. And you can do any of this with the hands on the leg or on blocks. And then when you're ready, we'll plant the hands. And we're going to send the right foot back. Meet in downward facing dog. Beautiful job. And then let's bring the knees down, meet in child's pose. Take a moment to rest here. Letting the body grow heavy and sink into the mat. I'm going to take a sip of my water, and you're welcome to do the same. And from here, grab onto your strap. We're going to come back into a knee stand. Bringing the arms behind the body. One more stretch with the arms here. I'm going to rotate so you can see me. You can stay where you are. So staying here, kneeling. You'll bring the left hand behind the back and the right hand over the right shoulder. Use the strap here to help you stretch through the front of the body, stretching through the arms. Breathe into any areas that feel tense. And when you're ready, we'll switch. So right hand comes behind the back. Left hand comes over the shoulder. Finding your comfortable stretch. Deep breath. So let's see. You're probably in the same orientation on the mat. I've flipped around a couple of times. And when you're ready, we will release the arms. We're going to come back down onto hands and knees, reaching forward. And then shifting the weight into the hands. From here, we're going to take the left knee. Draw the left knee towards the left wrist. From here, we're gonna shift the right leg back, pivot that left foot only as far as is comfortable for you. So I'm pivoting my left foot towards my right hand, and we'll create a little bit more space by just inching the right foot back. And maybe this feels like the perfect stretch and you want to stay here. Just notice what feels good for your body. So taking a moment to settle in. If you want to start to fold forward, you can grab your pillow or your bolster and just start here, propped up. Starting to lean over that left leg. If you feel any stress in the knee at all, bring your left leg so that it's not quite so far pivoted across your body. And if that doesn't relieve any stress in the knee, I would say probably come out of this pose or just bring this foot right underneath your seat. You can also use a blanket underneath the seat to give you a little bit more space so you're not having so much pressure on the knee, that can be a really good option too. And definitely use a bolster if there's, you know, pressure on the knee. If your knees feel okay here, and you have this leg pivoted, trust your body. You can eventually work your way all the way down to the mat if you want. That's optional. It's all about what feels good for you. So remembering to really send the breath here, allowing this hip to expand, opening up, releasing any tension. And we're gonna just rest here for a few more moments, really focusing on the breath. You know, don't push into any pain or serious discomfort, but practice trusting your body. If this just feels like it's an intense stretch, but it's manageable, use your breath as a way to help you stay grounded, as a way to calm your body and release into this experience that might be a little bit tense. But nobody knows your body's limits the way that you do. There's no need to push past your body's boundaries. So find where your edge is, and if you're ready to come out of the shape, we're gonna just shift that left leg back around, shift the right forward, and kind of, you can wiggle the hips back into a child's pose. If the knees need a break, you can come back forward. Allow the hips to shift and move. When you're ready, we'll switch sides. So starting again here in tabletop, we're gonna bring the right knee towards the right hand this time. Shifting the left leg back, we'll swing the right foot around, inching it up towards the right hand to your comfortable stretch. And then gradually sinking down into the hip. Breathing into any tension here. Again, we're not pushing into pain. But if there's a spot that feels like it's challenging, but you want to stretch it, and you're getting some good releases with the breath, feel free to keep sinking deeper. Use that breath as a way to help you get through an intense moment. Breathing deeply here, remembering the intentions that you set at the beginning of practice. If you'd like, you could come further down onto the floor. Keep adjusting and use your props to help your body stay comfortable, stay supported. Deep breaths. And when you're ready, we're going to shift the weight forward. We'll swing the leg around and kind of crawl yourself back to your tabletop. Shake the hips out. Whew. Take some pelvic tilts here. And then we're going to rock around onto the seat. Legs extend long. Take this moment to use your strap. Bring the strap around the bottom of the feet. And use your strap to just help you fold forward. Breathing into the back, expanding through the back body. Beautiful. And when you're ready, we're going to roll down to the mat. So coming down to the mat, we'll bend the knees. Just allow the knees to rock side to side. In your own time, there's no wrong way to do this. Just allow your knees to fall side to side, continuing to breathe, just loosening up through the pelvis here. Option to hug the knees into the chest if that feels good, or if it feels better to have the legs extended long, you can extend the legs long, wrap around the back of the legs, or use the strap. When you're ready, taking any last wiggles or stretches that you need in order to settle into the mat. So we're going to settle into our Shavasana or silent resting meditation. And you can find this shape lying on your back, lying on your side, any shape that's comfortable for you to rest and allow your mind to really decompress and relax. If you are cold, feel free to put on socks or a sweatshirt at this time. And then if you have blankets nearby, cover up with a blanket so that you're nice and cozy. And you can really allow the body to release and relax here. So I'm going to find my resting shape with the bolster underneath my knees. I'm covered up in a blanket. And as you rest here, I invite you to just meditate on that intention. Allow it to percolate in your mind, and then sort of let it go. You can just let the thoughts drift away. Breathe naturally, and just allow yourself to fully release and rest. And I will guide us out in a few minutes. So there's no rush here. Just begin to wiggle your toes. Wiggling the fingers, bringing the awareness back into the body, into the present moment. Taking any stretches or wiggles. In your own time, very gently roll onto one side. Take a moment here to just rest. When you're ready, we're going to place the hand on the floor. Use your hand to press you up to a seated position. And just take a moment to check in with yourself here. Send yourself some gratitude for taking the time to practice today. Deep breath. Check in with your body. Notice how your body might feel different than when we first started practicing. Notice how your energy might feel different from when we first started practicing. I wish you a beautiful rest of your day. Thank you for practicing with me, and I will see you in the next video.